So today I'm going to teach you one tool which is called Jenkins. So the first question is, what is Jenkins? So typically, you know, we call it Jenkins as a CI tool. Okay. Now next question is, what is CI then? So CI means the full form of CI is continuous integrations. Okay, continuous integration, that is a CI. But actually, as part of the CI, we try to do automated build and then automated testing. Okay, and it should be automated minded, and then anything which you do, it should be immediate feedback for it. So that is a CI. So that is the definition of CI. But we have to elaborate this one a little bit better way. So we do the planning, right? We do the planning, and after that we do the coding. After that we analyze the code. Correct? Analysis the code. After the code analysis, what we do? So after that we build the code. Correct? After that building the code, what we do? So after that probably we do the unit testing. Then we do the packaging, application packaging, right? And after that we archive the packages, right? After that archiving, we deploy to QA server, right? And after deployment, we perform acceptance testing. And after that, we do the code coverage. And if code coverage is done, we do the release to the market. I mean, it's completed, then we do the release to the market. If not, then we repeat stuff. Correct. So far, what are the tools we have learned in order to do, software development? So in terms of planning, we learn Jira and Confluence. In terms of coding, we learn Git, right? I think Python, I guess Python is pending for this batch, I guess. And then analysis, what we learn SonarQube. In terms of build, what we learn? So in terms of build, we learn Maven, Gradle, few tools. Unit testings, we have a JUnit. Packaging, what we learn, Packer and kind of things, right? And for archiving, what we learn, so Artifactory. For deployment to QA, what we learn, it's Ansible. For acceptance testing, what we learn Selenium, JMeter, and all, and so on. And code coverage is the one process which we do. So there's so many tools we have here, right? And so many. So these are the phases for the software development life cycle, and these are the phases which we have. Now, multiple teams are involved in it. So if you see that here, till here you have a development team involved, dev team, and here you have a QA team involved, right? So this is something which is done by QA team. So now if you see that we have so many teams, multiple teams are there, dev team and QA team, so many software development phases we have, so many tools we have. So don't you think so we should be having one tool which can integrate with all the tools and provide a common visibility for everything. So a tool which can merge the effort of different teams, a tool which can integrate with all the phases, a tools which can allow you to integrate with all the tools. And that is where the next thing which is coming up is CI tool, Jenkins. So Jenkins, why we call it a CI? Continuous integration. Continuous integration, because here this tool can help you to integrate with everything. Okay, so here if you look in this way, those tools can integrate with Jira, Git, SonarQube, Maven, JUnit, Packer, Artifactory, Ansible, Selenium. Okay, and this tool can be used by dev team and QA team, and all the pages will be integrated. And when they say integrated, that means this is important. Okay, this one, that means from the coding till the code coverage, there should not be any manual interferences. Everything should be automated. And if you're a dev team, you are supposed to add a code, and in a Git, you're a QA team, you're supposed to add a code in Git for the testing. So dev team probably will write a code for the product, testing team will write a product for automation testing. Okay, so this concept, the whole concept, is as known as CI. Understood, all of you? So what are the primary features for Jenkins? So primary features of Jenkins is, one of these is integration. That means Jenkins can integrate with everything. Second feature which we have is scheduling. Okay. And third feature is trigger. So this is the triggering. Okay. So these are the three primary features of Jenkins which we will explore. So yes, it's a CI tool developed in Java. The moment I say it's Java, that means you know that you need a JRE or JDK to run this Jenkins. They have multiple releases actually, and one of the release which is, we call it Jenkins. This is the one which is free and community version. That means I'm going to teach you. But we have a Jenkins Enterprise also, okay, and that is a paid actually by CloudBees. This is the CloudBees. They offer this Jenkins Enterprise. We have a Blue Ocean also for uh, pipelining concept. If you are writing everything as a code, then pipeline. If you want to set up a CI/CD for uh, container world, Jenkins X is important for all of you. So this is something which we have. Okay, so now in a Jenkins we have so many. Each features is powered by plugin. Mind it, this is important. Okay, so you have more than 1800 plugins. So what you should do, you should spend some time on this plate also, Jenkins and plugins. And here it is. So you see here 1900 plus plugins are available and growing, and these plugins will get you the features which the core Jenkins you do not have. Let's say you install the core Jenkins and you need some additional features for that. So you can install, any number of plugins. You can search for this. For example, let's say, code plugin, code related plugin. You can search for it and you get it here. See. So I mean, a lot of plugins are there, different categories and all. So you must spend some time with it. Okay, so that is the thing. So now, next question is how to install it. Okay, how do we install it? So yes, uh, if you see Jenkins install, and end of it you have to put DevOps school. And here you see this is a tutorial. You have Jenkins installations and configuration guide, and this you have everything which you required for installing the Jenkins in a different platform, Windows, Linux, Mac, all this thing. But I'm just showing you the demo, so I will install it Jenkins through the Jenkins website, so that way also you can see that. Here this is Jenkins website, and you see here Jenkins is, because it's developed in Java, you can install many ways. You can install through Docker, Ubuntu, Red Hat, Windows, OpenSUSE, different flavor of Linux, including Mac and all. Everything is there. So this is the server. I am going to install the Jenkins in the server. So let's get started. So it's a Ubuntu server and Java. I just want to check which Java version is there. And 17.0 is there. That means latest one. So that is fine. So I'll go to the 1.2 here, and here I'm going to run these commands. Okay, enter. Done. This is the one command. Done. And one by one you can run all together also. That's all. Let me try. There's some warning message has come. I'm ignoring it. This is installed, so it got completed, and this command will install the Jenkins. Enter. Done. So Jenkins is installed. Now systemctl start Jenkins. By default, Jenkins is running at 8080 port. Okay, so that is the stuff. So let me get an IP address for Jenkins, and here 8080 port. Here it is. Now it is asking, hey, if you're the owner of Jenkins, give me the password which is located at this place. Yes, I'm owner of it, so let me get it. So more, enter, this is the one, and now install suggested plugins. Select plugins to install. So I just said everything in Jenkins is powered by plugins. So I'll go for the suggested plugin because it is consuming too much of time. I mean, because we have 1900 plus plugins, it will take some time to do that. Okay, so it will take few seconds of time to install the plugins. Now the question is, okay, after that we installed it, what we are going to do? Basically, you have to, come up with the automation requirement. Okay, what you want to do. This automation requirements, you may have anything. You want to do the build, you want to do the testing, you want to do something else, infra work, anything else actually. Anything which you want, any work which you want in software engineering, which you want to integrate, you want to schedule the job, and you want to notify feedback, immediate feedback, then you can use a Jenkins. That means integration means Jenkins you can integrate with any of these tools, but not this one only. 1800 plugins are there, so you can literally integrate with anything. You can schedule. There are so many ways which you have available with the scheduling. I'll talk about that one. And then how do we get a feedback of what activities I have done it. So these all these things you can do that. So typically Jenkins can be used in other industries also, but primarily it's in build testing and infra work we use it. Okay, so how do we get started? So in everything, let's say, let me show you here. So here what I have come up with is magic formulas actually. Formula, that means how can we get started if you have not done any work in Jenkins prior to it, how can we get started? So you start getting into these questions which I am having. Jenkins, enter, and the Jenkins questions. So here checklist. Okay. So preparation of Jenkins job setup. Basically, if you are starting, then this is helpful, and if you have already know that, then I think you can ignore it. So this is something. Uh, there's no volumes. Hello, Nicasius.
No, your voice is coming up.
Okay.
For me, it's okay.
Someone messaged me on the WhatsApp group. There's no volumes. Okay. So this, if you're starting that with the Jenkins, then this is checklist is useful for you. If you're not starting, then I mean, just if you're a mid way or something, then you don't need it. But let's discuss this one. So how do we prepare for any automation? Let's say build automation, testing automation. How do we prepare? So ask a few questions, and these questions will have so many answers actually. And the first question is, what is your programming language? Okay. So where is your source code? Uh, where is your source code? Just a second, hold on. Okay. So what is your programming language? Where is the source code for the projects and all this thing? So now, before getting an answer for these questions, you should understand one thing, and that is called how Jenkins works. Okay, how Jenkins works. So here, let's understand this way. Uh, this is you, okay, and you are the automation engineer, CI engineer, whatever it is, and you have Jenkins website. The Jenkins website is this one. Here we got it up and running. Let me set the username Rajesh123, Rajesh123, Rajesh Kumar, and all. An email address DevOps at the rate of Rajesh Kumar .xyz. Save and continue. Okay, so this is your website, the Jenkins website. It will look like this. Okay, so now when I say architecture, this is your website which is running on 8080 port. Okay, this one, and whatever the job you configured, here we call it a job, or you can call it a project itself. Just a second, I'm getting some annoying call.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so here if you see that this is the Jenkins. Okay, this is something which we have, and this is the website. Now you configure the job. We call it a job, or you can call it a project. You see here, we call it item here job or project. Anything you call it, that's the same thing. Okay, don't get confused. Sometimes whether it's item, job, or project. And you create a project or a job. And job, you configure it of what type of job you want to build. You have a job for it. You want to test, or you have a job for it. You want to do anything XYZ, you have a job for it. So you configure this job, but you know what? This execute in some machine, right? This is done at some machine. So that machine is called agent. So by default, the place where you set up the Jenkins, that machine will work like an agent. Sometimes you call it agent, sometimes you call it a node, sometimes you call it a this one. What is it? Agent, slave. So both are same. So if you see that here, agent here you see, you can add a cloud agent also. So if you go to the manage Jenkins, I'll show the agent. Here you see nodes, and this is the built-in nodes. I did not set up any nodes because the server where I install the Jenkins, that machine is acting like a built-in nodes actually. So you know what? You configure through the web, and this web, whatever the job configured, it execute in the node, and you can have multiple nodes. You can attach more nodes also. Windows, Linux, Mac, whatever it is, you can attach to that. Okay. So question is, why do we have to follow this checklist? So remember that, let's say you are building some programs. So that programs has to be installed in the node actually, node, this node, this node, this node, this node, or this built-in nodes, whatever it is. It has to be there, right? So for that, you need to have a better questions for that. Okay. So here, if you see that, you should ask a few questions in order to set up a project. For example, what is your programming language? Where is your source code? And when you say programming language, uh, you have to understand that it should be installed in the build node server. Okay, and you should know the version of that programming language, like which, let's say Java, which Java version, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20, now you have it, right? So this you have to ask a questions to someone who's giving this assignment or yourself. And where is your source code? Nowadays the source code you will find most of the time in the Git, but earlier we used to have it at too many source code management. And then how frequently you want this job to be done, triggered. You want to trigger scheduled way, manual way, many other trigger method we have it. I'll talk about it. And then fourth one is like, what is your builder? Builder means build tool. So build tools can be anything like a shell script, Windows script, and script, Maven script, Gradle script, and hell lot of others also. Okay, and then here whom you want to deliver the feedback. For example, notifications, email, or WhatsApp, Slack, what exactly? So these 5 questions you have to ask yourself. Okay, and so for me, if I ask these questions, let me ask these questions myself. Okay, I'm asking my questions here. What is your programming language? So I have a programming language which is Java. Okay, now Java. So Java is installed in the node. Let me check in front of you. This is the node where it has to be there because Jenkins was there, but still I'm checking and just to make sure that you understand the stuff. See, I install the, check the Java is there. That is done. Where is the source code? So my source code is in GitHub. So let me get it. So GitHub, and if you go for demo lab projects, and here, or let's use another project, this one. This is sample projects of Maven. Okay, so this is the projects. Now here we have a project. Now Git should be installed. So Git is installed. Let me check. Says that then clone will can happen. How frequently you want this job to be triggered? So I want this hourly. Okay. What is a builder? So builder, if I see the code, it's a Java based. So here you have form.xml. So Maven. So builder is Maven. Okay. And then whom you want to deliver the feedback. So here email to DevOps @Rajesh Kumar.xyz. Did you understand that these questions will help you to configure the job very easily? Are you okay with it, all of you? All of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what are we going to do? So let's configure the job. So come here in the Jenkins, and here create a job, and create a job, name it, let's say you want to build this, so build this job, and always look for a freestyle project. Freestyle projects, pipeline, folder, multi-branch pipeline, organizational folder. There are a few options are there. Freestyle project which has all the options required for job. So click OK. And what you decided? See here, if you see that the job, each job is divided into 6 parts, actually 6 sections, you can call it. A general, source code management, triggers. Triggers means how do you want the build to be triggered. Environment setup, if you want to do that. And the build steps, here you have to select the builders. See that here. Shell is there, Ant is there, Gradle is there, Maven is there. If some of these are not there, install the plugins. And post build action, what you want to do. Send an email, Slack, what exactly you want. Okay, so this is decided. So general I'm not going to touch right now. It's not important. Source, everything is optional by the way. And source code management, here I'm selecting Git. And the URL which we decided, it's a public repository, so no password required. Here it is. By default, it will take a master branch. And build trigger. So build trigger when you want. So build periodically. Here there is some tutorials quickly for doing the build hourly. So I'll read it here. Question mark which you see every field, if you're not sure, you can check that as a tutorial. So done. And then build environment, you want to do the clean build, so delete the workspace before build start. And here build steps, this is important one. Okay, so in the build steps, what do you want? So if you remember that now, because my project is in Maven, and now they're asking what is the goal. You remember that I taught you Maven because of that reason. So now can you please tell me what is the goal available in Maven which will do the build? All of you. So it is a compile, right? Compile, right? So this is something which you have, and whom you want to send a notification. So here you have few options: email notifications to DevOps @ rajeshkumar.xyz and save it. Done. And then build now. Build now. Okay. Two builds I did it. If you see that left side, 1 and 2, both have got failed. Now I want to review this. What is the problem? So here I got in the build 2, and this is the some information. And if you click on the console output, you'll see the logs. And here you have a complete logs. You have to analyze that what went wrong. So I'm trying to find out where it went wrong. And here I say code ambient compile. Jenkins has run ambient compile. That's okay. But here it says cannot run program ambient. That means in the build node, ambient is not installed. See here, ambient is not installed. So either you install the Maven here using command line at the system level, which you will install only one version, not multiple, one version of Maven. But many times what will happen, the requirements may come and everyone will say, hey, I need this Maven, that Maven, and kind of thing. So that is a one challenge. So how can we deal with it? So that is where the Jenkins will help you. So here, come to the dashboard, come to the manage Jenkins. Manage Jenkins will be shown only to the administrator. And here you have to come to tools. Look at this here. You have to be slow a little bit. And if you see that under this area, you have many options. Okay. So here, if you want to configure the Jenkins system, then this is the area. You want to configure the tools, tools and their locations. This is the area. You want to add a more feature to Jenkins, adding, removing, enabling, disabling the plugins. This is the area. You want to add more nodes to increase the capacity of Jenkins, then this is the one, and some look and feels and cloud integrations. So right now I want to set up a multiple Maven tools. Okay, so this I can use it. So click on this. And here you have so many options. You can add a multiple JDK if you want, multiple Git you want, multiple Gradle you want, multiple Ant and Maven. If your tools are not listed, that means the plugins are not installed, you have to install it. But if Maven is there, so add Maven. And this Maven, I will name it Maven. I'll just name it Rajesh. There's not a, I mean, it's a bad practice, but just to make sure. And now you want to install automatically or manually you want to set the home. So I will go for automatically. That means Jenkins will download and manage that Maven version. Now, which version of Maven you want? So here are so many versions starting from 1.2, 3.6. You have it. I'll go for the latest and save it. So what I did here, you can set up a multiple Maven version. I set it up one and then dashboard. If I go for build one more time, build now, manually I'm hitting it, though I set it up early. And build number 3 is also failed. Why this time failed? And if I look at this region, it's the same region. So yes, you set the Maven at the Jenkins level, but you did not use it in the build. That's the reason. So I have to go and edit, which is here configurations. And the configurations you have somewhere here, you have to select which Maven you want because there's no default set in the system. So I'll go for this one and save it in build. Okay, so build number 4 right now. Now you see that here. Now it's in process. You can see that logs and what fine so far and success. And there's one warning has come. In fact, the error, and that is cannot connect to the local host da. And why? Because this Jenkins is not able to send an email because SMTP is not configured for Jenkins. So that is the reason. So could not connect to the host port localhost 22, 25 timeout and all. So that is something which we have it. So did you understand that, all of you? Hello. Any
Yes,
question?
Raj, yes.
Okay. So now this is the way you set up a jobs. Okay. And now let me do a little bit of more work. So you know what? I'll do some management for the thing. So let me create a new folder. This is the folder, and this folder I'm creating from DevOps School project. Okay, save it. This is a folder. Now the jobs which I created last one, which is here, I'm going to move this. I can do move, rename, delete, all this thing. You understand? And DevOps School. And now you see DevOps School, you have one job. But DevOps School, I'll create a 3 views, one for dev, QA, and production. So here, one dev test view. Okay, QA test view. Okay, and one is prod. And here, click OK and done. So guys, here you have, if you see all, here you have one job, but dev, ops, okay, these are the view. You can create a new job. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I've created one job build. I'm going to duplicate it. How can you do that? So for that, you have to go and say new item, and this time test. Okay. And instead of creating the whole job from scratch, I'm going to copy from build, and here I'll change the build steps here, test, okay, click save it, and then build. So that way you don't have to spend efforts setting up the again new job from scratch. You can copy it. I'm going to create one more job now, copying from the build to package. So I'll call it package, and here you see build and duplicated it, save it, DevOps School, and you got a package also. And I'm going to build this one also. So see that how you manage your projects. As a Jenkins, you can manage multiple things and use it. So this is how you can start creating your, job. Any questions so far, all of you? Okay. So now what we have done is like what I did. I explained you what is Jenkins. I explained you why we need it. Third thing, how Jenkins works. Fourth thing, how to install the Jenkins. Fifth thing, how to configure the jobs and some of the checklist questions. This is a very handy. Okay, you must use it this for important work. Okay, so now that is something which we have. Now next question is, these are the how can we explore the different features of Jenkins, and these are the integrations, scheduling, and immediate feedback. Okay, so this I'm going to talk about it. But before that, you know what? I am going to show you how can you increase the capacity of Jenkins. So here I must talk about it. Manage Jenkins. If you see uh, here, system means anything you want to set at global. Global means Jenkins at level, and which should be applicable and for every jobs. Then you set it at a system. Okay, so here you see so many options are there. Okay, so many options, and these are options is been there in unorganized way. That is how the Jenkins is. It's one way it's good. You have everything at one page. You don't have to search here and there. You don't have to click here and there. That way is good. But the problem is like you will find which one to use, which one not to use, and it's all depends on your requirement basically. So what typically you should do, look at each options. Okay, and some of the options, let's say you are not able to make sense of out of it. So what you should do, click on this question mark, and you have a good tutorials for each and everything. Okay, so that is how it's one of the good way to do that. Okay, so these options, let's say some of the proxy configurations here you have some of the options which you have SMTP information, right? I was talking about, right? Some failures which has come. So see here SMTP and some more SMTP details. There's a two plugins, so there's a two SMTP server. You will find it. That is done. So these options will increase as you install more plugins actually. Now in this tools here, you can literally install any tools. We install the um, Maven. You can install multiple Maven, multiple and multiple Gradle, different versions. That you can do that. Here you can install the plugins. So as you see that here available plugins, installed plugins, advanced plugins, like if you have developed your own plugin, so you can upload it from here, and some progresses. So I want to install some plugins, let's say available plugins. I don't know what is this plugin, REST API plugin. Provide the REST API access to the pipeline and pipeline run data. I'll show you that pipeline also. So let's say if you want to install it, this one, just click on this and press install. That's all. And if you see that these are the plugin got installed earlier, and now this REST API plugin is being installed now, and it's got success. Now how do we use it? Again, depends on the plugins. You have to read the plugin documentations. So let's say install plugins. If you go and I install the API plugin, right? API plugins. Let me filter it. Where is that? So many plugins are there. So here, this one. So click on this page. It will take you to the official page of REST API plugin, and they will give you the guidance how to use this plugins and so on. So this will help you with that. Okay. So this is how it is. Go to the manage Jenkins. Here you can add a notes. What happens? Let's understand this way. You configure so many jobs as Jenkins, and one nodes which is a built-in cannot handle all this pressure because CPU limit, RAM limit, disk limit, and resource limit. So you can add on more nodes, and you can outsource the job to some other nodes also parallelly. So here you see new node. I'll talk about it, how to add a nodes, but not now, in next topic. So but here you can manage all the nodes. So here you can add a cloud nodes also. Cloud nodes means AWS or Docker container and all. So all these things you can do that. See here, Docker, Kubernetes, EC2, VM agent and all, everything, this cloud nodes can be added here. Okay, so that's the thing. And here, look and feel. Look and feel, I mean, it's not much useful as long as you like this default one, which I like it very much. But there's a dark theme also has come, which you want to use it. So these are the options which you have for the admin. In terms of security, we'll talk about in some time and so on. So yeah, any questions so far, all of you? Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to discuss about these three important features of Jenkins, which is one is integrations, another one is scheduling, and third one is immediate feedback. So these are the three reasons why we use the Jenkins. So let's have this one after the break. Let's grab a 10 to 15 minutes of break, grab your tea, coffee, rest now. And once you come back, I'll teach you that one.
Have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.